So while I was recording audio for the last video, I got a notification from the ESPN app that cut off my line. I was frustrated, but checked it anyway and saw that D Rose was getting reunited with the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau. For those of you too young to remember, Thibodeau was the head coach of the Bulls back when Rose led the team and became the youngest MVP in history. Obviously, Rose was on the Knicks back in the 16-17 season before getting traded to the Cavs and becoming a journeyman for the next few years. I mean, he still kinda is. He hasn't been on any team for more than 2 seasons since he left Chicago, but maybe Tom can bring out the old D Rose. A man can only hope. So real quick, for those of you who don't know, and also because I want to make this its own video later, D Rose was really good on the Bulls, became the youngest MVP in league history. Then he got injured, and then again, and then again, and again, and again. Eventually the Bulls got tired of him and traded him to the Knicks. After what was considered a good season for Rose at the time, especially since he stayed healthy through most of it, he got traded to the Cavs. This Cavs team was D Rose, D Wade, LeBron. I mean, how could it fail apart from D Wade being 36 and averaging 11 and 1 a game? Yeah, he got traded like 50 games into the season, but before that, D Rose got released to free agency after like 16 games for averaging 10 and 2 on better percentages. Those dirty dogs at the Cavs front office. D Rose was completely out of a job for most of the season until the Timberwolves signed him with like 10 games left to go, and he averaged 6 and 1 in his time. Jesus Christ, Derrick. Despite playing arguably worse and shooting an abysmal 17% from 3 in his 9 games for the Timberwolves, they brought him back the next year, and he was much better, averaging a cool 18, 4, and 3. He was also making 37% of his threes, better than he ever had in his time at the Bulls, or any other point in his career up till now. Despite that, they traded him to Detroit next season where he played about the same, just tack on a couple more assists, and have him back at 30% from 3. Oh dear lord. Then this season, he played 15 games for Detroit, averaging 14, 4, and 2, because the guy's 32 with bad knees now, and yep, Detroit traded him to the Knicks for Dennis Smith Jr. and a bag of potato chips. I'm not even joking. That brings us to modern day. He plays his first game for New York tomorrow, at least at the time of writing this. Maybe not for you, I'm slow sometimes. But why the hell am I talking about this? Because I fucking feel bad for the guy. He's not even a bad player. He'd be a fantastic role player on any team in the league, and an acceptable starter on a good chunk of them. Why does he keep getting traded, especially for guys like Dennis Smith Jr.? This guy is probably the most lovable player in the league. Wouldn't you at least want him for marketing purposes? Nah, fuck it. I want a point guard with hops and a fucking bag of potato chips. Like, is it just me that sees this? Let's think of another point guard that doesn't get traded very often, but is worse than D Rose. Like, bad. Here's one. Patrick Beverley. Call it Pat Bev hate if you want, but this guy is not better than D Rose. Pat Bev is the same age as D Rose and has only been traded once. Once. You want to know his averages right now? 8, 2, and 4. And he's less efficient than Derrick. Some of you are going to say he's a better defender. And yeah, I agree. But he's still only averaging a steal and 4 boards a game. And I already know what you're going to say. But Matthew, those stats don't fully represent his defensive impact. His defensive plus minus is 0.3, which again, higher than Derrick's, but that's still just on the fucking edge of positive. Why doesn't he get traded for Dennis Smith Jr.? As you can see, I'm pretty passionate about the subject of D Rose getting traded for a version of him with better hops and worse everything else. I hope that bag of potato chips was worth it, Dwayne Casey. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Also peep the new whip I just put black hubcaps on today. Okay, bye for real this time.